There are days in the depth of winter when I look out my window in wonder at a world blanketed in white. And I remember that there is beauty even during the darkest seasons. My little New England town recently found itself covered in 30 inches of glistening snow. I relish this time when I can watch the faint sunlight shimmer on melting icicles from the comfort of my warm home. It always amazes me how my orchids choose this time of year to bloom. The conditions outside seem so unsuited for their flourishing, but they must be cozy in our home, and perhaps they are enjoying the low light of the winter sun. Today is a perfect day to paint, but I guess isn't every day? Earlier this year, a fellow artist invited me to contribute a video tutorial to an online event that she's hosting. While deciding upon what I wanted to create, it occurred to me that painting flowers during the winter might seem odd to some people. Nonetheless, I went ahead planning the piece of artwork, flowers and all. Thus begins my journey with this new piece of artwork. Well, our journey, as you embark on it with me. As an artist, I think it's important to follow my creative nudges, and that doesn't always align with what's unfolding in the outside world. My calligraphy art is deeply personal, and the quotes I choose to hand-letter always hold a special meaning to me. "Bloom where you are planted" is certainly not a quote you'll see people lettering often during these frigid months, when the trees and shrubs appear to be no more than bare gray twigs, and flowers seem but a distant dream. But my mind doesn't always think the same way as other people's minds. Maybe I'm a little bit like the orchids, who don't care how bleak things may be outside. These orchids bring some much-needed vibrancy and life to my space, and I want my art to do the same for myself and others. One might say that the quote, "bloom where you are planted," points to the concept of being present. To stay where you are planted, where you are presently, and to grow there. But what does that mean, to be present? About a decade ago, when I was struggling profoundly with my mental health, I started to ask myself a slightly related question, which was, how can I become happy? And I came across several books that proposed to have the solution to help me achieve ultimate happiness. And they all espoused a similar message, which is that in order to be happy, you have to be present. And in order to be present, your mind has to be still, and you must be aware of your surroundings. One of those authors even reasoned that we should aim to not engage in thinking at all. After a few years of searching for this elusive state of presence, I was even further from happiness than when I began. No matter how much I tried, I could not cultivate a clear, present state of mind 24/7. I had a mental breakdown, and it has been through my mental and emotional recovery process that I've uncovered a different meaning of the word presence, one that is more comprehensive. Being present, for me, means staying open to whatever unfolds, both externally and internally, and accepting whatever arises. It doesn't mean that I can only focus on what is happening outside of myself, like the snow outside, and reject any urges that I have to paint spring flowers. On the contrary, being present means allowing all expressions of aliveness to coexist. It can be snowy outside, but springtime on a piece of watercolor paper, and I get to decide what my present moment looks like for me. I can get lost in thought if I want to. I can daydream, and that doesn't make me not present. Maybe getting lost in thought is exactly what I needed in that moment to feel like the fullest and most free expression of my happiest self. So, when I think of the phrase, bloom where you are planted, I think of blooming here, now, with whatever's happening in my life, like cold and a pandemic, and also being present with my own internal landscape, my imagination, where there can be daisies and roses year-round. I just wanted to pop in here quickly and say thank you so much for watching this video. This is one of my favorite styles of videos to watch, so I thought some of you might be interested in seeing a video like this. If you liked it, please let me know so I can have motivation to make more of them. For those of you who are interested, the tutorial for this piece of artwork that you saw me making in this video is going to be available in a free live retreat on February 25th at 5:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 2:15 p.m. Pacific Coast Time. I'll also eventually have this tutorial available for my patrons on my Patreon, and that's in addition to all of the other tutorials that you'll be able to find on my Patreon. And to get more information about how you can become a patron, check out the description box below. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me in today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!